folks, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for your support. So I've come on, I thought I'd do some Inkylicious again. These are not new stamps, well they're on the website, but they're not brand new ones that have just come out. And also this Snowflake stencil, which I thought, I have cut out squares as well, I would make a couple of cards for these. So I've got this one, which is Winter Walk, which is these trees and fence. I've also pulled out some holly and pine. Also pulled out this winter snow pines, and I've pulled out some of the Christmas stars and the tall fir trees. So I thought I would just do a few wee bits and pieces with this. Now I'm thinking, have I cut that big enough? Probably not, because I was supposed to have some people for a craft class this morning, but unfortunately we had to rearrange it, but that's okay. That's no worries. So I could actually just have a bit of it onto there. So got some washi tape here. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry I've not been on that much. There's been a lot of family things going on that needed, you know, just things to be seen to. And family comes first in my book. I'm sure it does in lots of people. So that was the reason I wasn't really about for a few days. But right, I can't get the end of that. Let's find another one. Here's one. It's just to hold this down in place. Now I could have stuck it on anything. I could have stuck it on my sticky stamp wheel mat, which I never thought about until now. So, but I'm doing this, so hopefully you're in camera shot, because sometimes I haven't been in camera shot, which I'm very sorry about, but it seems to happen. I don't know why. Put that in the bin. So it's a gorgeous, gorgeous sunny day today here in Scotland. I'm hoping it is where you are. I'm just going to take this edge as well. We'll be using that, but I'm just going to tape the paper. So we're going to do probably everything inside that snowflake, and I've slightly offset so it's not the full snowflake, because I hadn't cut the card big enough. Now I've also got a cup of coffee here, which I'm going to have, and if you've got one, that's brilliant too. Now, so pop that away to the side. So what I want to do first is, now where have I put those? I usually keep my Inkylicious brushes out, but I must have put them away. But what I'll have to do today is I'll just use these. I got these new brushes on Amazon and they really are quite good. I'll put the link in to the description box. Please do take a look at the description box, because you will find that there's lots of information in there. So I'm going to go in with some Distress Oxides, just for a very palish background, I think. So I'm taking Salvage Patina. Now I'm saying palish background, but is that what I really mean? So I've got this off-cut paper. So I'm going to rip and just make it into a hillside. So it's just a case of ripping it. I mean, you could use copier paper, but this was just at the bin. So I'm wondering if I can just make a couple of wee hills. So, right, do I want Salvage Patina or not? No, maybe not. Let's do, where's me think. Let's do some Uncharted Mariner. We only want a tiny little. Well, I always say this, I don't want to go too dark, but sometimes it's quite hard to go. Just going to rub that off a bit. So I'm just going to go across here and just do that as a first kind of hill there, and then I'll go further down. I'm not going back into the salvage patina, I'm just using what's on the brush. Not salvage patina, I mean, I don't know why it's green, because that should be blue, but I think there's something on the brush, so we'll just go with it. Maybe I should go in with the Uncharted Mariner. Oh dear. And then I'm just going to leave that like that, I think, and I might just do another bit hill just up here. We'll do a little bit of Uncharted Mariner. I think there's maybe something on the brush. I'll do a tiny bit up here, just with what's left. A little bit down there, and maybe just a tiny bit on there as well. So we can just see that we had that snowflake shape there. Right, so the next thing I'm going to do is put that away, and then I'm going to get some of my stamps now. So I'm thinking, let me see, I wonder if these would work, or if I should do better with these ones. There's a small one here, I can see, which might work on here somewhere. So if I just get a block, now I have got my paddle thing as well, which is from now I'm thinking it's probably actually better to put that smaller one up there. So I've got an Inkylicious paddle, which is good as well, because you've got this long piece to use, and I'm going to just do it in, I don't think I'm going to do it in black, I'm doing it in Morning Mist. So Morning Mist is a grey colour. So I'm just going to do it up here. Is that Morning Mist? Yeah, it just didn't look like it was. I'm going to do it up here, just on this sort of bit here. And then we should just go into the... That's fine. I've got that, which is quite nice. And then, I don't know if second generation would come out or not. No, not quite. Just do that again. And it looks like you're actually not stamping it, but you are. It's just the colour of the ink. There we go. That's quite nice, I think. I should have used probably this just to stop that from, which is here. I should have done that. So let's do one more, which could be just here. That's fine, that's better. Yeah, that's better. And then I wonder if we'll do another one. Let's get this back on to there, where it was. Make sure it's in the right place. And then I can just... So it makes it look like it's coming behind that hill, if you see what I mean. And maybe one more, just a bit. Let's see, where else could we have it here? That's fine. And leave that like that just now. And I've got these stars. I thought maybe I could put one of the smaller now. Because they're all together, it's quite hard to really put the star on. So I'm going to be very naughty. And I'm going to cut one of the stars off of the I can find the scissors. Where are they? Here. So I'm going to just cut this one off these. This is not advised, but this is for my purpose. So sorry, Debbie. I did. Here's the book, right? So I've got that little star, and I'm just going to pop that, and I'm going to do it so that makes a lovely star. Just see if we. I think we're better to do it just with the colour, the first generation, and we can do that one maybe again. Hopefully. Bit haloed there, never mind. Just do a few of the stars as well. I think three's probably do one up here. No, I won't actually, because I think three looks quite nice. So I'm now going to just remove this and see what it looks like. So, I'm quite happy with that. What I might do is just pop it back down actually, and just go around the edges of the snowflake with a darker colour, and I'll use a very, very small brush just to do that. Just trying to get it exactly back to where it was before. That there, that's probably right. Yep. Right, so taking one of the small, because you get loads of small brushes, I'm going to just use the Uncharted Mariner for that. Just going to go around the edges, just a touchy bit. Hopefully won't spoil this by doing that. Feel it needs a bit more of an outline on it. Just keep rubbing that in anyway. A little bit down here as well. Just trying to go round sort of more the shape of that. I haven't put too much on. I think that's what it needs. A bit of outline there. So it's Tag Tuesday tomorrow actually, so I'll be coming on with a tag, and if you want to join in, please do. That would be lovely if you did. Definitely would. Let's just see. I've hopefully it'll be fine. Right, let's just take it off now. Hopefully I've not spoiled it. No, that's a bit better. I can see it a bit more, so I'm quite happy with that. So all I need to do is, all I'm going to do is get these bits off without doing anything to them, is I'm going to just do a wee splatter of silver on here, because I like a splatter. I might just have a little bit here. Oh, that's the wrong one, isn't it? No, that's the right one. That's the wrong one. Just a wee bit of colour. That's not the shimmer. Yeah. It's going a bit glitter. It's going a bit yellowy for some reason, but that's okay. I'll not worry about that too much. And because obviously I'm using oxide pens as well, inks as well. It's a bit. So let's do a splatter now. What's that? Is that? No, that's the vanilla one. So just a little bit of a splat. Hopefully this will come out. Let's just see if I can get this to, yes, that's it. So a wee bit splatting, just to kind of finish that off. There we go. And then I've got a piece of this glue card. Now I don't know if this will fit though. I might have to get another piece, which is over here. So this is this. Got this double-sided cardstock stack from, it was a Tonic Live thing, so you can see that now how it's all turned out, so that's lovely. And this was one of the papers that was reduced, so sometimes it's quite nice if you go on one of the early morning Tonic Lives that they have. Oh, these are all my favourite colours. There's this blue and that blue on the back. So I think I'm going to cut it down. Well, I am going to cut it down and pop this. I'm going to use this colour. So let's just see. This measured 5 by 5. So we need 5 1/4. Match that up. That will be lovely on there. So that just gives you that nice edge. And then I'm going to get a nice piece of white card, silk and weave, and I'm going to make a base. And so I'm going to make, if it was 5 by 5, 5 1/4, was that 5 1/4? Did I see? I think it was 5 1/4. So I'm going to make this card 5 1/2. Scoring first, folding second, then lining it up, cutting that excess off, and then cutting it to 5 1/2 squared. Okay, so that's one card. Now let's budge these over a bit because it's getting a bit messy. Put that up there just now. Right, so let's pop this on. So that is rather nice, I think. Now, glue is over there. Not sure why, but got some more here. Let's use these glues. So there we go. I will have to take the lid off. So these glues are really good. I first saw Monica Wiklewska from Paper Mona. She used this glue and I thought I'd give it a try, and I do like it. So you can get this off Amazon. I'll link it into the description box. Please do look in the description box because there's a lot of information in there. Because I often get, I don't mind answering people's comments, but I often get asked some questions, and sometimes it's actually in the information box below. But I don't mind answering. So I'm going to do this 10th fold. So that just gives us a nice border around the edge. And then that gives us that little bit there. I could have mounted it with a wee bit black or grey, but I'm quite happy to do this. And I think it goes nicely and looks nice. So that's card number 1. Just get that into place before I actually commit to putting it down. Oh, it's still not quite right. If I cut this a bit wrong maybe. There's a bit much. It's a bit more. Come on. There, that'll do. That's fine. Now I just want to add a sentiment to this. So Inkylicious does have some lovely sentiments. I'm not sure though that I've got one that's going to fit into that space. So what I do with those ones I had Inkylicious, or they are here. They could be, you know. Bear with me, folks. Oh, here they are in this drawer. So I've got these ones which are just unbranded. So I think, let's see what we could have. Just either down that side or along here, I think. Or we could have it over there. So we could have Winter Wonderland, because that is basically what we've got here. So I can either just stamp it on, or I can pop it onto a extra piece here. So I'll just pop it onto an extra piece. So I've cleaned all my, recently cleaned all my blocks because they were quite messy, dirty, because just use makes them dirty like that, doesn't it? I'm sure you'll find the same thing. Right, try and keep this kind of straight. So I could actually just pop that there, but I'm going to try and just get this as straight as I can. I'm going to take a gulp of my coffee because it's going to be cold. So I'm going to go for the grey, I think. Will I? Or will I go for a blue? No, let's just do the grey. Oh, wrong way round, Shirley. Now obviously you can do this as well with heat embossing because of the fact that it's got the background, but for this video I'm just going to do it like this today. There we go. And then I'm just going to chop this up, and that'll be the first card done. So simple stamping with these stamps is just works out amazing. It's lovely. If you've not checked out Inkylicious, do go over to their page. I'm not getting a commission for saying this or anything. I just like their stamps. All the stamps I'm using were bought by me. There was a couple gifted to me from Debbie at Inkylicious and a couple of backgrounds, but they're all of mine mostly apart from those. So I want to just pop it up on a bit of foam tape here, and then that will be that card done, and I can do another one. So let's just get rid of that. That's lovely. I'd love a card like that. If somebody gave me a card like that, I'd be very happy indeed. Right, so we're going to pop it. We could either pop it there, but I think. Let me look through the screen and see what. That's quite nice there. I'll just pop it on there. There we go. So that is my first card. So I'm pretty happy with that. Well, I am happy with that. Let's pop that to the side. So let's do another one. Put that in the bin. Get this to the side. So I've got some more. So I've got this size of card. So this is 5x7 base and then increments of a 1/4 inch lower. So I'll put that up there just now and we'll do something else. So I think I'm going to go landscape this time. Now I'm going to take a gulp of my coffee because it is going to be absolutely freezing. And guess what? It's absolutely freezing. Right, so I'm just going to use this again. And I'm going to actually pop that there. Because what I want to do is make a... So try and keeping it in there. You can see that. Right, so I'm going to pop this down. No, actually, because I'm going to need to... No, pop that down. Just ignore me, I'm talking to myself. Talking to myself is what I'm doing. No, let's see. So pop that on to there. That's fine. A couple of bits, but they're a bit screwed up. So just get another bit here to go on. 2 bits at this side. One bit actually there now. So I want to have that there. Just put one onto there as well. I'm not going to have that there at all, that's not true. Get down. I'm going to make sure this is kind of straight-ish. And then I'm going to put that there. These really need to be, let's just take that off. I'm just trying to think what I'm actually doing, because you know I don't really plan any of this, I just do it. Sometimes I plan things but not that often, so I want to just make a line. Hopefully the line's going to be straight. I probably want to do a line here, so what I'll do is, I'm getting a right ankle here, aren't I? Oh dear. Get off. Right. I'm going to just put a wee bit here, like that. I don't need a huge bit like that, just to kind of make a border. Right, and the same here, just to create a bit of a border. That should work. So that's the top. So I want to use this time. I'm going to use. What am I going to use? I'm going to use this one, which is called Della Blue from Lavinia Stamps. Well, that's where I got it. I suppose you can get it other places. So I'm going to use one of these brushes again. I'm going to use the big brush because I want to go over the top here, and I want a straight, like a straight line all the way along the top, because that's going to be kind of my sky line type thing. in and build this up. So I'm using Pink Frog Super Smooth card to do the inking and blending onto, because I find their card is perfect for this. It's really good, and it works really well with all the inks and things. So I need to still get it quite dark, so I'm going to use some of the Check the Sapphire ink. This is ink. I've had this for ages, so I might still, hopefully it's still, yeah, that's better. I just want to really create a really, really dark blue sky on here. So you can use, if you're wanting to make this strip, you can use just a bit of copier. This paper was just stuff I had in the bin, really. Just keep making that because it's still, I want it a bit darker still. That's okay. Don't think I'll get, there's a bit here that could really get much, a lot darker. That's fine. So, got that piece done. And then I'm just going to take this all off now. So I've created that sort of border around there, which is fine. And I've created a border along the top. I know there's a slight difference in one side, but I can easily cut a bit off of that. So I've got that now. What I want to do next is, this will come off. So I want to continue to use this bit. Keep some of these pieces. So now what I want to do here is just create, so what I should probably do is just cut this so that I can put my border on to that bit there. Okay, so if we can just get this round again. So I just want one piece really that's going to be in the middle, and then that can just go there like that. Right, now this piece here needs to kind of create a, I'm going to have to get more, where is it? Put it here. Just, this is only ever what I ever use washi tape for, is like sticking. I don't really use it on projects. I mean, I have used it on some mixed media projects, but don't tend to do that, so I'm not really wasting it. So I'm just going to go, probably end up cutting this somehow. Just put that there. If you're still here, thank you. We're just going to do that as well. So that just keeps that kind of border edge. So all I'm going to use here is just what's on the brush of this. So just to make my hill. I'm not going to dip back into there. It looks like there's nothing, but when I lift that back there is a line. Just give it a wee bit more pressure. And that should create, oh, so you can see there is a line there. and this is moved obviously, but that's okay. So we can just pop that over the top now. So this time I'm going to use other ones. I took this one out, and I took, so let's take that away, because we can now just stamp this one onto the bottom here. So this one is called Winter Walk Stamp. So let's just pop. So I'm going to pop it slightly, just slightly off. So I've got this, where is it? Long. Where's the long one? I think that should fit on there. So this time I think we might just go with the black. I wasn't going to, but I think I'll just do it with the black. So this is VersaFine Pigment ink for fine detailed stamps. So I'm not going to plonk it straight in the middle because I want it to sort of carry on. So I'm just going to start it here like that, and probably a nice piece of something cushioning underneath would help, but I think it'll be okay as is. It's a bit, I don't think I'll be able to go back over that one. Right, so I want to carry this on, so it's going to be this piece here at this end. I don't need to then ink up the whole stamp again. It's just that piece because that's the piece that's going on. So just line up with the fence that's there and just press that down a bit harder, but that's probably because I'm doing it onto the hard surface and it's actually better not to, but that's better this time. Let's see if I can go into that a bit. Probably not much of a difference, a wee bit. Right, so that's okay. I'm quite happy with that. That's fine. What I might do now is just get one of my markers, and I'm just going to go in. So this is an alcohol marker from Ohuhu, and I'm just going to go in with a little bit of brown, one of the browns, just to do that fence. Let's see what colour, that's a quite dark brown. So let's just do the tops of the fence. And I'm not sure where they are. It's a bit funny, but I can always put a sentiment wording over on that. Let's see this colour. That's quite a, maybe not that one. Let's see, what's this? This one's called walnut. Let's try walnut. So just going in here and just making that more fence-like. Oh, you can see it's a fence, but I'm just trying to colour some of the fence in, like that. This bit's a bit kind of healed because obviously I went in over again. That's where the stamping platform does come in handy as well. Now, there's a little bit at the bottom here. I'm thinking I might put a tiny bit of green on. I know it's wintry. I could just put a bit of this grey, which I usually do, which I use for this grey is used for sort of putting shadowing in. So if I put a wee bit of that at the bottom, that will go back, the colour of that will actually go back a little bit. Try and, oh, that must have, that's fine. And then I'm just going to add, and get this back in, some splats as well. So I've got some blue here, light blue Nouveau pen, aqua pen. So let's just see. That could have a few bit droplets on it as well, like that. Just a few, not too much. And then let's take this off and see what it's like. So there we go. It's got a bit of a border around it. Maybe, oh, see, that's actually taken off the paper. So let's just be careful we're not pulling that off. So that's what you've got to be careful of. But I mean, that looks quite nice, and I can easily cut that down a bit just to hide it slightly. So I can easily do that, which would take some of that away. And this is a bit squint, so I don't know. It's a bit squint. So, and I think I'll just take that away as well. And then I do actually think I need a new trimmer again. I know that bit squint at the top, which is annoying. But that was just me, so it's not as squint now because I've chopped that down. So that's another colour. So I've got this, the opposite side of this, which would be quite nice, I think. Or I could just have black. And in some ways, I think I'm going to cut this bit off because I don't know what I was actually thinking at the time. So I'm just going to cut that off because I think it looks silly. And I'm just going to have that piece there because I think that looks quite nice like that. Oh dearie me. And I think actually I'm just going to cut that edge off. You see, that's the thing in card making. It's a bit like songwriting. I do some songwriting as well. And there's no rules. You can do whatever you like, basically. So I've got it down to that. So it's going to be a very, very small card. So I've got some black card here actually, which I could use. Maybe that would make this pop a bit more. So if I just have to work out how big or how small this is. So it's 6 by 2 3/4. So if we do a layer, which will be 5 3/4. Oh, 5 3/4 by, what did I say it was? 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. So that would be 3. That would be very, very. Let's see. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, I think I do need another new blade on that. I'm sure I've just not long changed that, but I do use it quite a lot. So there we go. And we need our other piece, which we might just use the blue side off. We can make that slightly bigger. So make that 4 by, let's see. This is actually just a bit winging it, isn't it? Winging it Wednesday. It's actually not, but you could do that for winging it Wednesday. Anyway. get that on, and then I'm probably have to cut this down a bit. We'll see. Let's pop this one together and see what it's like. Now, I could actually put a little star or two in here, so let's get some of this. Here is it. I've got some silver here. This is very old silver. Had it for a long time. So I'm just going to do it on top of these because these are that will give me a little bit of pressure. And I've got smaller ones, but I don't know. No, just these things. That's 3 of those. That's fine. Put that over for a minute. Right, so let's put this together. Where's the glue? Here it is. Hope you stayed with me. Yeah, the first one's probably the best one so far. Might do one more. Using the Snowflake again. See, so just putting that onto there and then put this onto here, which is quite nice. Like that. And then I think I'm just going to pop it on like that, actually. So that base is still 5 by 7. I'm just going to put this across the middle with a little bit of a border each side. I think that's okay. It's maybe a tad squint actually. Too late. No. Let's see what we can write on this one. We'll have the same thing. We'll just put Winter Wonderland. We'll just put it on the actual card. Let's use the black one. Where have I put it? Where's the black ink? Is it hiding? It's hiding. It's hiding well. Is it under here? No. Oh, what have I done with it? Oh well, let's just use this Memento one. This Teal Zeal, which actually I might use in. So I can either have it here or on, I think I'm just going to pop it on here. So let's try and do it. Don't always do it straight onto the card like that, but if you're feeling confident, you can. There we go. That's quite nice too. So that's card number 2. Let me know your thoughts. Right, let's try and do number 3 and then we will finish up. So for number 3, so I've used this one. I used the trees and what else did I take out? Oh, I took that and I took these little bits of holly and pine. Maybe I'll just do a wee card using these, just so it's a bit quicker. Now, I could use this Snowflake again. So what I need to do is wipe it because it's covered in stuff and I might not be using these particular colours. So just wiping it with a cloth, both sides, like that. And then, oh, I've just seen the ink. I'm just letting that dry a bit because it's obviously wet. Now I can use that for something else. I'm not putting that in the bin. I will put these bits in the bin. That's my scoring tool. So let's just you won't get the whole thing on again. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do it, get it all, it's just that bit I don't get in. So I'm going to do it slightly to the opposite side this time. Okay, now I think that piece of card's a bit squint there. So there's my tape. Let's just on. Yeah, so you do have to be careful when you're actually taking your tape off your card, because sometimes it does rip, which is unfortunate, but that does unfortunately sometimes happen, so you need to be really careful. Like, I mean, even I do that, so you know, just need to be very careful. So I've got these two, I'll put that away into there. I've got these two bits of, I've got holly and I've got pine. So they are quite small, but you should just use your small stamps and your big stamps just the same. So pop them onto blocks. And I'm just going to use a mixture. First of all, I'm going to put a tiny, very pale background. So I'm going to use, so let's just use, now what will we use? Because we're going to be using green and things. So I'm just going to put some iced spruce. A tiny bit, just to outline the snowflake. So find a brush that doesn't have anything on it too much anyway. That one's okay. So ice spruced distress oxide. So just coming in, just very lightly, kind of going round that. This gives the outline of this lovely snowflake, absolutely gorgeous snowflake. Really is nice. There we go. And then I'm just going to go in with some of the so I've got this one, so this is the pine, so that's this one here. So I'm just going to use some rainforest to do that. I'm just going to randomly kind of make a design from each of these, and hopefully it will look nice. So I'm doing second generation stamping as well as first. Bring that one there. There. I'll do one piece just there and there. That will do for those. So then I'm going to bring in the holly. So I'm going to use a different green which I've got over here. Now, where is it? A different green. Where is that different green? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. So this is Shady Lane. So it's a slightly different colour of green. So just sort of in between those. There's one bit there. Oh, didn't really stamp that properly. Mind. Here, a wee bit here. Here. another one. It does look a bit of a mess, but I can assure you, I'm sure when I take this off, it's not going to look like that at all. It'll be just different, won't it? Yeah, so go over that as well a bit. Right, so we're going to reveal it now, and hopefully it's fine. So just take this away very gently. That's fine. And this piece, because it's on the card, fine as well. And this piece will just come off. Okay. And then we should just be able to lift this up, and then that's what you have there, which is rather nice as well. So I'm going to just lift it up and let you see it. It's quite nice, that one too, quite like that. Hope you do too. So pop that there. Now we want to just add a few of the red berries on the holly. So I'm just using this Ohuhu Geranium R865 if you're interested. And I'm just going to go in where I see these berries. Just very tiny berries, which they are very, it just adds something else to it. I don't have to do this, but I just thought it might make it look a wee bit different if you did that. Now, there's some here, very faint. And there's a few here. I think that actually is lovely. It just adds that extra wee bit onto it with the berries in red instead of leaving it in the green. It does just add a little bit more to it. There's a few over here, and maybe some up here. I'm still on camera shot, folks, sorry if I'm not. And there's a few here, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's fine. So we just want to add another, I think we'll just do Winter Wonderland for all of them. Now I'm wondering if we'll pop it down the side. So I'm just going to use the Shady Lane one, just to do this one. And I think I'm just going to pop it up here. So it'll be up the side of this, because I'm going to keep that like that, which is quite nice. And then we are just going to do a bit splattering again with this. So I just need to prime it. So there's a wee bit where you press it, and that should, that's it. I'll just do some splats here. It just zhuzhes it up a wee bit, as I call it, zhuzhing up. That's fine. And then we're going to just get another piece of this gorgeous card. So I'll just pop that to the side while I decide. So this card is from just DCWV. I'm not sure who the, oh, it's American Crafts. That's who it is, American Crafts. So I'm wondering if this colour would, yeah, I think that would complement that. So that's a kind of petrol grey colour, I would say. Yes, it's American Crafts, that's who it that is, I'm sure this is, what is it, 5 by 5. So if we do this 5 1/4 by 5. And that will give us this nice background as well. I can keep in with these colours, which is really nice. Yep, and I've got a base over here somewhere. I have a base. Let's do a base. So we need a base of 6 by or 5 3/4. And where's my scorer gone? It was there. Here it is. It fell out. Sometimes they do. I actually probably need a new scorer as well. For that, make your base, cut it to size. It's not quite straight, that actually. It's better. Cut it to size. And then cut this side as well, and that should be fine. Put that onto there, that's lovely. So let's get our glue. This is probably going to be a really long video, but you know, sometimes it's quite nice to have a long video. Just to see the process of how you get to the end result. So just popping that onto there. Oh, that's between a sort of grey and a green, that one. It's quite nice. And then this gorgeous one here, which, I mean, I could put it this way and have it like that. Oh, which might work better, actually. Let's go for that. But I could have had it the other way as well. But let's do it that way. And then we'll be finished, and you can let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you like this sort of thing. I think it's really easy, and it's quite nice when you've finished it to just see what you can actually make with sometimes just simple stamping and a stencil, you know. So that's my first card, this one here, which I really like. That's my second card, which didn't quite work out how I envisaged, but it's fine. And that's my third card, which I really like. I think it's gorgeous too. So do let me know your thoughts, and I will see you very, very soon. Thanks so much. Bye for now.